4:57, and this morning there are new concerns about contaminated food spreading and making more people sick. So first it was just tainted lettuce, and now jalapeno peppers have sparked an outbreak of salmonella. As Morgan Norwood reports, experts are trying to determine how this could have been prevented.
This morning, health officials in Michigan, the epicenter of the parasite outbreak linked to lettuce, say it's okay to eat bagged salad again. They say the contaminated produce is likely no longer available for consumption. But food safety attorney Bill Marler, who has litigated outbreaks for more than 30 years, says it should have never gotten this far.
This outbreak should have been caught a month and a half ago.
And many Americans are still concerned. The salad chain Sweetgreen, which was never linked to the outbreak, just slashed its sales forecast for the year, blaming customers' fear of fresh produce. The company's stock plunging 15%. The recalled lettuce came from Taylor Farms and was grown and processed in central Mexico, where about 2/3 of America's imported vegetables come from. Marler says he's sued Taylor Farms before.
I've had several outbreaks linked to cyclospora with them, E. coli, and so, I'm pretty familiar with them, and here we are again.
The company pointing to its own tests, which they say found no contamination. Marler believes the root of the problem is water quality.
Unpleasant as that may be to discuss right now, this outbreak is essentially human sewage getting into our lettuce.
Taylor Farm says it invests hundreds of millions of dollars a year in food safety and says its water sources are tested for indicator organisms. Meanwhile, authorities are now tracking a salmonella outbreak linked to jalapenos from Mexico, which were supplied to restaurants and food service companies by Coast Citrus distributors. Sweetgreen has now joined Chipotle and Qdoba, saying they have proactively removed the peppers. 375 people across 27 states have gotten sick. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
7 News on your side at 5 a.m.
Right now on 7 News, the growing data center debate in Northern Virginia, the massive new data center that's being proposed, and why one local leader is trying to pull the plug on it.
Heads up for parents, there's a new youth curfew zone in effect this weekend in D.C. We'll talk about where it is and when it will take effect.
And a rise and repeat forecast across the DMV today, a rinse and repeat forecast, how hot we'll get and when we could see some storms later on. Good Friday morning to you, Washington. I'm Adriana Hopkins.
And I'm Adam Longo alongside meteorologist Jordan Evans in for Eileen. And man, you weren't lying yesterday. Humid, and today going to be even worse?
I think about the same. We're looking at 93, heat index up to 100, but then we had those storms. We had the storm damage out there near Cabin John, and we could be dealing with that again today.
Okay.
So, slightly more scattered coverage. We're back on weather alert just for a 4-hour window. That'll be later this evening. We'll bring you your first alert, as you can see, 4 to 8 p.m. That will be the timing for any thunderstorms that do have the risk for some damaging wind gusts and localized flash flooding. But notice that key word, that is isolated. So most of us not getting severe weather, but those that do have the chance to see those threats. Now, the chance for high winds slightly higher than yesterday, D.C. to Baltimore up to Philadelphia. That's level 2 risk from the Storm Prediction Center. I'm going to put the Futurecast in loop because I want you to see the timing here, 3 to 4 o'clock. Notice those storms firing off 2 to 3 p.m., moving toward I-95 slightly earlier compared to yesterday. So this could impact your evening drive home, as well as some of your happy hour plans or dinner plans out there as we track the evening forecast. But eventually things will come to an end by sunset tonight. Starting off 69 to 75 degrees. Humidity is out there. Heat index values again back up to 100 today. Southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and the sunset at 8:12. There's your heat index forecast city by city. Upper 80s out to the west, around 98 to 99 in the Beltway, and a few spots there at the Century Mark. Let's get a look at traffic.
Something else popping off this morning, Jordan. Problems on the B-Dub just north of Route 32 here, dealing with some sort of lake clearing work zone in Jessup. So that's got things real slow northbound on the B-Dub as you head north of Columbia. Suitland Parkway dealing with a crash at Silver Hill Road. Looks like traffic's moving through there just fine at this point in the morning. George Washington Parkway, we've got a ramp closure that continues. You're blocked southbound, the ramp to the Inbelt Roosevelt Bridge. Traffic moving along just fine in that direction right now. Taking a look at the wide picture, showing us a little bit of building volume out here on Route 50 as you head into the district. Otherwise, looking all good, all green. across the DMV.
This morning, a data center that could fit 15 White Houses is a possibility in Loudoun County. Amazon wants to build it, and leaders were quick to push back against the plan. 7 News' Liana Golden is live in Ashburn this morning with where the proposal stands. So, Liana, what are we looking at?
Well, Adriana, just an 800,000 square foot facility, aka 14 football fields, about 15 White Houses, as we just said it, right here on GW's Virginia Science and Technology campus in Ashburn. Amazon owns the facility. They want to transform the property, but a Loudoun County supervisor seems pretty determined to shut it down, and here's why. Once again, that fight of massive data centers up against homes and communities. Supervisor Julie Briskman tells 7 News that up to 1,000 new housing units are set to be livable within just a year or two, but Amazon filed this request last week. The site plan includes multiple buildings and covers the area here along George Washington Parkway between University Drive and Highland Vista Drive. And because of where this is located, Briskman says that it falls under different zoning guidelines, meaning pretty much Amazon could potentially put a data center here by right without even a public comment period.
It's absolutely one of the most inappropriate places in the entire county to put data centers. So if we put a stop to it now, we have more of an opportunity to build the housing that we need.
Briskman says she'll hold a town hall of her own soon to allow the public that time to speak their minds. She's also asked Loudoun County staff to explore a data center moratorium, saying with even more than 200 data centers in the county, hey, it is never too late. Now, Amazon tells us that this request that they filed is the very first step in the proposal process, so this idea is still very new, very fresh. The next Loudoun County Board of Supervisors meeting is September 1st, where this will likely be a big topic of discussion. For now, reporting live in Ashburn, I'm Liana Golden, 7 News.
Well, 7 News reached out to Amazon, who sent us a statement reading in part, Amazon has a long-standing history of investing in Loudoun County and building a strong network of local partnerships. We look forward to working with the community and the county and stakeholders as the review process unfolds. They also said the site plan is the first formal step in a lengthy review process. Now, Northern Virginia is a global leader for data center development, and there's a reason some local counties first welcome these properties. Tax revenue. Loudoun County, for example, says that because of revenue from data center taxes, they've been able to reduce property tax rates, reduce the personal property tax on cars, get rid of a $25 license fee, and boost the school district's budget by tens of millions of dollars. But decreasing space for these massive centers is driving up opposition as projects move closer to residential areas. You can find more of our coverage on the data center debate and power lines on WJLA.com right now.
In another major move in Virginia, Governor Abigail Spanberger says she is formally intervening in the proposed $67 billion NextEra Dominion Energy merger. Now, the governor says she is focusing on 3 things when it comes to this merger: ensuring affordable energy bills, protecting Virginia's utility workforce, and accelerating reliable, local, and clean power. NextEra and Dominion both told 7 News that if the companies combine, they will provide nearly $1.8 billion in bill credits for Virginia customers, but Governor Spanberger says that is not enough.
I need a lot more details. Notably, you mentioned the bill credits. So the estimates are about $10 per ratepayer on their bills over 2 years. Well, that doesn't speak to where their bills might go, right? I want to make sure that, if there is promise of credits, that it's promise of credits on a bill that isn't also simultaneously perhaps increasing in other ways.
Some lawmakers have called on the governor to convene a special session to extend the review period on this merger. The governor shot down that idea earlier yesterday.
I'm John Rogers at the Alert Desk, and we've seen another delay in the case of a Maryland mother accused of murdering her children. According to her news partners at WTOP, a hearing has been delayed by 2 weeks to determine whether Catherine Hoggle's attorneys can use an insanity defense. Her 2 young children vanished in 2014. Their bodies have not been found. Her initial case was dismissed in 2022 after she was found unfit to stand trial, but she was re-indicted on murder charges last year. Now, she was supposed to have a hearing yesterday, but prosecutors need more time to review dozens of documents filed by Hoggle's defense team hours before that hearing. Hoggle will now be back in court on August 20th as her attorneys argue whether Hoggle was mentally fit at the time to be held criminally liable.
A new youth curfew zone will take effect tonight in D.C.'s Columbia Heights neighborhood. Take a look. This area will be off limits to groups of kids under the age of 18 from 8 p.m. to midnight tonight. The curfew zone will also be in place tomorrow night. Remember, this is on top of the citywide curfew, which is in place every night from midnight to 6 a.m.
We're learning new details about a deadly shooting in D.C.'s Glover Park neighborhood. 21-year-old Jeremiah Green of Alexandria is accused of shooting and killing 35-year-old Bobby Cannon inside a home on 41st Street Wednesday night. We're still working to learn what led up to the shooting. Green is now charged with first-degree murder.
An unusual case unfolding in Prince William County. A Stafford County Sheriff's Sergeant is charged with involuntary manslaughter after sources say a police pursuit crossed county lines. As 7 News' Tom Rousey reports, prosecutors say charges are warranted, but the Stafford Sheriff is defending his sergeant.
What 30-year-old Stafford County Sergeant Jeremy Hurt was indicted for this week actually happened nearly a year ago in August 2025. Early on a Saturday morning, I-95 North was closed for hours after a fatal crash. At the time, the Stafford County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook they were at the scene, but they did not elaborate on why they were in Prince William County. A source tells me the man who died after Hurt allegedly rammed his car was suspect Josue Enoch Martinez of Spotsylvania. Court records do not say why Hurt was chasing him, but they say that Hurt is being charged with unintentionally killing Martinez. Martinez is listed as a fugitive in court records, but they don't say for what. He had been charged with assault and battery out of Fairfax County in the past. As Hurt is facing these charges in Prince William County, the Stafford County Sheriff's Office is sticking by him, releasing a statement saying he's on administrative duty for now, adding, quote, "The Stafford County Sheriff's Office stands strongly behind him as the legal process moves forward."
And that was Tom Rousey reporting. We reached out to the Prince William Commonwealth's attorney, Amy Ashworth. She says she generally does not comment on cases before they're finished. And a lawyer for Sergeant Hurt also said he was not ready to comment at this time.
Police need your help tracking down the man you see here on your screen. Investigators say he assaulted a Metro bus driver on an M54 bus near Colesville Road in Woodmore Circle in Silver Spring last Saturday. If you know who he is, call police.
The Space Force was once just an idea, but could a cyber force be next? Why lawmakers are considering a new military branch and what it could mean for America's future.
Plus, millions of student loan borrowers could soon be paying hundreds more a month. We're going to tell you why and what you can do now to avoid an even bigger bill.